This whole notion of UGC,
Yeah.
and the way that you've effectively taken what is really anonymous visual material, in many cases other than the personality stuff.
Yeah.
How do you make UGC work and make money for the company? It's very profitable.
Well, the first thing you have to do, and this is difficult, you can't be too precious about yourselves. We look at our business as a service provider to our customers. We provide our customers with raw material to enable them to do their work. So the first thing you have to be is you can't be too proud. We employ World Press Photo winners, Pulitzer Prize winners. We propose some of the best photographers in the world, but we also are quite happy to license an image for $1 or $1.50 shot by somebody who just loves photography. So the first thing you've got to do is say, okay, I'm prepared to do that. The second thing you need to do is put all of the right licensing around it, and I keep coming back to licensing. You've got to be able to put the product online where the customer can search, purchase, and download. Most of the customers are now under 35. They don't want to talk to anybody. They'll text somebody. So that's the next thing you do. And then what you do is you get this very viral community going. So on iStock Photo, we sell an image every second. We upload about 40,000 images a week. Every single image is inspected to make sure that it's legally appropriate, that it's got the model releases, the property releases. How do we inspect 40,000 images a week? Through our community. Our community do it from home.
So it's almost like a wiki style.
Absolutely. And everything is done online. And that's really where we have to, in our view, one of the reasons we're so interested in the music licensing business is we believe, of course there's some hurdles to get over, but we believe that the overwhelming majority of the music licensing industry's customers still haven't bought, and the overwhelming majority of the catalogs still haven't been sold. And that's because we are not utilizing those two things, technology and what the customer wants. So that's, with iStock, we license pictures for money.
Now, when Jonathan talks about being a service provider, I mean, in essence, Habbo, Sulaki, in its own way is a service provider, and one of the things about Habbo is being a social game. This whole notion of social games in a Facebook environment, you've got to be a service provider and really understand your customer.
Yes.
And at the same time have a transparency so your customer feels really safe
Right.
in terms of opening up and, I mean, virtual goods.
Yeah, it's really come on in the last few years, the idea of media being a service. There's been software as a service that started in the 90s, and Salesforce.com and a few other companies have done very well, and everyone is going to a service model or in a cloud model, meaning that you're not just sending a discrete product to somebody and then that's it, you're done with the customer. The idea of being a service, you have a continual relationship with the customer. And I think I gave an example on Habbo about how they listen to about the pets, but I think even a more relevant example is the birth of social gaming over the last 2 years. This really surprised the whole games industry. I ran 2 games companies at Atom. We had Shockwave and Addicting Games.
Yeah.
And we had some elements that were sort of like it, but I wouldn't say we were nothing compared to these companies like Zynga and Playfish and a few others have done, is that they've taken the idea that these games, which don't even exist on its own website, they exist only within Facebook. They live within the community in Facebook, within your friends, and they're constantly adding to the game, and they're bringing more elements of play to the game, and they're making money by selling little items to the game, whether it be food for your farm animals, or a new tractor for the farm, or if you're in a cafe, you refurbish your cafe that you're building. The idea being that it's a continual relationship. So the game becomes a service. It's basically a service for somebody because you're always in touch with them. And I think this idea of being in touch with your consumer in an ongoing basis, we talked about it earlier, was that I believe that artists, and just to make it managers, really understand this.
They have to.
I mean, they play concerts, and I was in the music business for a while, so I think especially the kind of starting and mid-tier artists, they are very in touch with their fans.